Hold up. Wait a minute.
Bruh.
Did you hit the like button? Drop some rabbits in the chat. Let's go.
Hit that like, hit that like. Welcome to the chat. Let's chit chat, hit chat. Hit that like, hit that like. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits. Drop them, drop them, drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop them, drop them, drop them, drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. If you want the tea, come see me. Rabbit hole is the place to be for real news, not fake news. Celebrity news, breaking news around the clock. Real talk, best on the block. I rock, I rock, I rock, I rock. Real talk, best on the block. I rock, I rock. Hit that like, hit that like. Welcome to the chat. Let's chit chat, big chat. Hit that like, hit that like. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop some drop them, drop them, drop them, drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop them, drop them, drop them, drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. True crime is my specialty. Exposed in the industry. Unsolved mysteries. Sticking to reality. Fair use commentary. Talking about cults. Trying to get results. Exploring hopes. Exploring, researching, debunking, investigating, being nosy, super nosy, being messy, being shady. Rabbit hole news. That's me, the chick with ADHD, unmedicated but quite educated. Hit that like, hit that like. Welcome to the chat. Let's chit chat, hit chat. Hit that like, hit that like. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop some, drop them, drop them, drop them, drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits, drop some rabbits, drop them, drop them, drop them, drop them. Drop some rabbits in the chat. Drop some rabbits. Hit that like, hit that like. Let's go, let's go. Let's start the show. Let's start the show. Let's start the show. Let's start the show. Let's start the show.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Oh, my goodness, y'all. I do apologize. So when I scheduled this live, I swear it said AM on my end, but for whatever reason, it's set for like PM, like 12 hours from. Anyway, so we fixed it. It is what it is. We're live now. Shout out to everybody. Disco D has been a member for freaking 3 months. Thank you, Disco D, for supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys are having a great day. Today is Friday. I woke up well rested, had a great night. I mean, everything is good. You know, I'm doing me. You said, well, howdy. I'm glad I've got my eyes peeled for you, Rabbit. We're definitely being suppressed. No notifications for the last few days. Yeah, no notifications. I mean, I definitely feel the suppression. The suppression is real. The suppression is real, y'all. The suppression is real. Thank you. Hey, everybody. Welcome. Make sure you guys are checking. Like, YouTube is doing this thing where they're like releasing people's names just so people are aware. Make sure that that's what you want it to look, just so people are aware. Welcome. You got it afterwards. You got it when it started. Well, I'm glad that some of you guys are getting it, but some topics are just being suppressed by the YouTube algorithm. And so if you guys can do me a favor, just hit the like. It does help out. You actually got a notification today, which you normally don't. That's crazy. That's crazy, y'all. Well, anyways, yes, and turn on your bell. I don't know. It's doing this weird, like, I don't know if you want YouTube to, like, if this is your real name, I'm not really sure. But it's doing this really weird thing where it's changing people's names and putting their, like, real names out there. So you just got to be careful. Make sure you don't like self-dox yourself if that's not what you want to do. You don't want people to know your name. Anyways, so let's get it together. Welcome. Hey, Wim, I see you. Welcome, everybody. You said YouTube hates people connecting the dots. Lord have mercy. I can agree. Daphne Johnson, thank you for becoming a member. Shout out to you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. All right, guys. So shout out to everybody in the chat. Good morning, Gigi, Matt. How are you? Shout out to everybody. We got to get it together. I'm waiting for more people to get in here because, like I said, the notifications are a little wonky. So we're just going to wait a little bit and then we're going to get started. How are you, Miss Toby? How are you? Just check. No notification. Glad I logged on. Wow. They're really doing me dirty. They really, really are. Oh, my gosh. I got a little tab that's like bothering me. Okay, so hey, Nurse Janice, how are you? I see everybody coming through. So let's get it together, guys. I got some coffee. We got some topics to review. We definitely got to talk about various things and whatnot. We got to be very Careful with the time because we have a lot. Okay, so I guess there's a couple things that I did a pre-recorded video on. We're gonna talk about Jason Lee here in a little bit because I'm actually going to work on a different video regarding Jason Lee. Just a little bit more research that I've been doing about the situation. For those that don't know what's going on with Jason Lee, I'll give you guys a little bit of a rundown. I'm also working on a Brooke Hogan video that I think is very important. There's some stuff that's happening there that people are ignoring, but we got to pay attention to, okay? Welcome. Oh, give me one sec, y'all. Okay, girl. All right. These are, there you go. Okay, you got to give it to the sitter to open that. Thank you. Take it over there. Thank you, my love. Okay. All right, guys. Sorry about that. Anyways, welcome everybody. Welcome. The Brooke thing is disturbing. Yeah, we got to talk about that. Okay. So let's get it together, guys. And we have some Diddy topics to talk about. We definitely got to talk about Epstein and Albie Shore and that whole situation with the cancellation of various things and books and stuff that's happening with Albie Shore. L.A. Reid, we have to talk about Mr. L.A. Reid and just some stuff that's been found out recently. People aren't talking about L.A. Reid, and we need to. So we got to bring that back up. But why don't we talk about Mr. Jason Lee first and get that started? Okay, there you go. Thank you. Okay. I do apologize. I'm getting my notes out. All right. So for those that are not aware, Jason Lee, I'll show you guys a little picture here. Jason Lee is like but well known on YouTube, I would say, well known in the celebrity world for having a pretty successful blog, I will say. Myself, I think that he's been very successful. I remember the first time I ever heard of a Jason Lee was through Love and Hip Hop when he threw that drink at a, was it Hazel who he threw, I don't know who he threw a drink at a one of the women on the show. And when he did that, I certainly did not necessarily care for him when that happened. Fury World, you remember when he threw that drink? Was it Hazel or was it Miss Nikki Baby? I can't remember who he threw the drink at, right? This is a reality TV show. He comes in as like the blogger. He had like a little bit of a role. I remember that's when I remember Jason Lee at. And then after that, I think everybody knew about Jason Lee. And, he writes a lot of celebrity gossip and not just celebrity gossip. I think one thing I've appreciated of Jason Lee is that he gets into the politics and, having that. I would say that he took a while to grow on me because I was not a fan right away. It took a while. Okay. And even he has his moments where I'm like, ooh, ooh, you never watched Love and Hip Hop? Well, that was like my show when it first started a couple years ago, but it's not anymore. It's kind of become a little bit of I can't watch it anymore. Not the way I used to watch it when it first started. But that was my show back in the day. Anyways, and especially because after I get off of work, it'd be a stressful day at work, and then I watch like some crazy, whether it was that or Bad Girls Club, something to kind of like take away the stress and just watch something crazy. That would be my two go-to shows. As crazy as I hate to admit that, but that's the truth. It is what it is. Anyway, so that's where I first met Jason Lee, was on Love and Hip Hop, and I think it was Love and Hip Hop LA. The storyline was with Ray J at the time and Tara Marie and all these people. Anyways, so it's kind of where we all met. At least for me, that's when I first heard of him. So he is a podcaster, a reality TV star, and definitely has been in the entertainment industry reporting on it for quite some time. But in 2023 or 2024, I think he was elected in 2024. Excuse me, no. He ran in 2024. Give me 1 second, guys. Oops, sorry about that. Yes, I'm watching. Yeah. So in I think he ran in 2024. Anyways, so in 2024, he ran for District 6 vice mayor of the city of Stockton in California. Okay. And he was elected. I mean, he was elected. He had a lot of people supporting him at the time, and he still does. I will say that one thing that I've noticed outside of the thing about Jason Lee, it's very hard to separate him. It's very hard to separate him from the celebrity stuff to like what's the word to this stuff right here where it's like real life stuff, the government stuff, the advocacy, if he's done advocacy, which I've seen a couple things that he's done. He has helped a couple people in the community, but it's very hard, I think, in my opinion, for a lot of us who have seen this other side of Jason to take serious. Does that make sense? He's also had a lot of problematic behavior with various folks, especially women. He really gets into it with women. So it's one of those things where it's like you either like him or you hate him or something in between. I think him having this background in government and even like some of the stuff that I've seen that he's done, I think it's really cool. However, he still has a big head about himself, like he does, he's got this thing about him. I don't know what it is. Let me see what you guys are saying. When you said Jason Lee, at first I thought the one from Earl. Yeah, no, this is a different Jason Lee. We're not talking about the Scientologist Jason Lee, although he's also problematic, but that's a whole different story. You said I barely know who this guy is, but already has been suspect. Well, I suggest you guys look into him before you even make up your mind. I think it's always good to do that, right? So anyways, so this is the problem with Jason Lee. Jason Lee is an elected official, but he's also has this Hollywood Unlocked blogger podcaster in his background, right? And I think that is where you get to see a little bit of his personality more so. But he is an elected official. So the problem is that he got into some controversy in May. Actually, before May, there was an event, the Wildin' Out event with Nick Cannon, and it happened in Stockton, right? And the problem that happened there was that he essentially, the event was canceled, but then it was brought back in, okay? And it was brought back in because of his doing. They were doing him a favor by bringing some of the Wildin' Out people and everything out there in Stockton. And he had actually written in his Facebook, he says, a few weeks ago, I got tipped off that there was a conspiracy brewing. Claims that I brought Wildin' Out to Stockton and influenced decisions so Nick Cannon, my friends, and I could profit. That's the question. Did he make money off of this? And I'll tell you why it's important. Let me be clear. Nick and the Wildin' Out team came to Stockton as a favor to me to turn this city up and prove that we deserve world-class partnerships like Nick, Rip Michaels, 5120 Entertainment. The attacks on our hardworking city staff for simply doing their jobs, beyond disappointing. Today, we agendized it in the audit committee, and it was crickets. Instead, management praised Wildin' Out for their professionalism, and our community loved every moment. Clips are coming, but let me say this to my haters: if you can't outwork me in policy, opportunity, or inspiration, work harder, because making up lies to do reputational harm won't work when I've got the hearts of the people. Shout out to our amazing city staff for showing up every day despite the policies, despite the politics. Stockton, we're just getting started, okay? So he posts a lot on his personal, on his personal Facebook, and he talks a little bit about that, okay? So essentially, he does this little event, and he knows people. He brings these people out here, and let me see if I can, because I got some notes on this, y'all. And here's what happened. The city of Stockton dispersed $50,000 for its risk mitigation fund to support the Wildin' Out live show at the Adventist Health Arena, which featured Vice Mayor Jason Lee as a performer. So he's an elected official. He was also a performer, okay? And the city hashed out money for this event. Okay. The city stepped in apparently to compensate for low ticket sales and mitigate financial losses for the promoter. Okay, that's where that $50,000 came through. This decision prompted questions about whether proper procedures were followed, especially since the interim city manager was not informed. Okay, an investigation was launched to determine if city policies were bypassed or if boundaries between administration and policymakers were crossed. Disputes over diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI funding. And this is the thing about Stockton. I was looking a little bit more. Stockton is a hot mess. Okay. And I'm shout out to everybody from Stockton because I know a lot of people started watching me for my uploaded video, but some of you guys even said it in the comments. They're like, "This Stockton, this goes even beyond the wilding out situation." So this is where I'm doing my deep dive at. Like I have another deep dive that I'm prepping for this that explains this situation. This is just one. The thing about Jason Lee is that there was other financial situations that were happening, and then this just kind of took off after Jason Lee. Now, does that mean that Jason Lee is wrong for any of the wrongdoing here? No, I think that there was a conflict of interest. I don't think he should have performed. It's one thing to introduce the city to your connections, right? And say, here's my connections. Y'all meet up and do what you do. But it's something different to then be performing on it. And the thing is about money, if you're working in government, I told you I worked in government for 10 years. I told you guys you're literally like living and driving in a glass house and a glass car. Everybody can see everything that you do. So you have to be careful with everything that you do. I remember if I ever traveled with the city and the county and the government's money, every little penny I would report. Every receipt I would report. And I traveled a lot. I traveled a lot. They booked flights, hotels, all of that. They would pay for stuff like any events. Everything I would report, every penny. Okay. So it's a thing where it's like, you really, really have to be careful when it comes to things like that. And the thing about government employees, and if you're a government employee, shout out to you, but you know that if you've been working there for years, people tend to get complacent and they think that, oh, it's just this process. No, don't be complacent when it comes to money because people will look into that. They really will. Okay, Vicky says, why is he doing the event? He works with or for While and Out does the city. Does the city? He works with or for While and Out and does the city? The city compensates $50K. So the city paid While and Out and paid Jason for the time as city council. Whoa. Can we say, well, that's the question. That's what I don't know. Was he paid as a performer? Because there's the conflict of interest is there, right? Overall. Does he work for the city? He's an elected official. Why is he doing the event? He works for While and Now and for the city. I think that's what you meant to say. Okay, the city compensates $50K. So the city paid While and Now and paid Jason for his time as city council. Wow. Can we say something? There's a typo there. For the city. He's an elected official. So there's that. He made the introductions to While. That's where he should have left it at. I wouldn't have not been part of the communications. I would have just said, hey, Nick Cannon and staff and team, whatever. Look, at Stockton is a great place. Let me connect you with the performance folks and do that. You know what I'm saying? You said, so did or does Nick Cannon? Well, who paid him? Did he get paid by Nick Cannon or did he get paid by something else? That's a great question. Conflict of interest big time, but you don't want to play with the city's monies. But I will say this, there has been some shit brewing with the city's monies before the While and Out event. And I think some of this has been brewing before even the While and Out event. That's what I'm going to say about that. I haven't done my deep dive, but I definitely will. Does the city pay him? Does the city compensate? I'm pretty sure that they pay him a something. Let's see. Let me look into it. And all of that should be public record. Hold on. I'm gonna pull up information real quick. Let's see. Look at this. Like, okay, well, I'll definitely check this out in a little bit. Okay, we'll do a little reaction to it on a separate video. Hold on. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry, y'all. Do-do-do-do-do. Yeah, I'm not pulling any information. People are saying Stockton paid $50K to save the comedy show, but we don't know if there was additional payment to him one way or another. That's the thing that we don't know. Even if Nick didn't pay him the money, crypto or Bitcoin, was he compensated by Nick for his performances? He is under a contract, conflict of interest. And that's the question. It's like did he know that this would be a conflict? Did somebody pay him? I don't think, personally, I don't think that Jason Lee would have performed on his own without any compensation. I'm just saying, like, who would perform for free? Was he paid? Was he paid? That's the question. Anyways, so let's go further. Okay. So this is what happened. The decision prompted this decision prompted questions about whether proper procedures were followed, especially since the interim city manager was not informed. An investigation was launched to determine if city policies were bypassed or if boundaries between administration and policymakers were crossed. There was a dispute over DEI. So the vice mayor, Jason Lee, has called for an internal investigation. He wants people to be investigated, but he wants an investigation on the misappropriation of a DEI initiative, misuse of funding. He wants everything to be kind of out there. The mayor countered that there's no specific funds embarked for DEI, stating that the 2022 resolution related only to committee formation and recruitment goals, not actual financing. Lee, who's chair of the city audit committee, has pushed for transparency as part of a broader forensic audit. Now, hold up. Bottom line, there is no known scandal involving someone. Hold up. The money scandal is still a thing. They need to clarify. That's the bottom line. We don't have an investigation yet. But let me check something real quick. Hold up. I'm going to check something really quick because I wrote some notes. Give me 1 second. Because I want to make sure I find this. And I know I wrote something down. I use my iNotes a lot on my phone for. Yes. So he is a paid elected official. Okay. So Stockton, for city councilmen, Stockton law set the annual salary for city councilmen, excluding the mayor, at $30,000. Okay, that's about $2,569 per month. So $30,832.62. That's about 2,000. I knew I had a footnote about this. That's about $2,569.40 per month. This was effective January 1st, and they change this kind of salary. So he has a little bit of a salary being that elected official. Okay. Council members, including Jason, receive no additional benefits such as health insurance or anything like that. Okay. And the mayor's salary is higher, though, annually. It's at $97,000. But the vice city, being council member, only receives council member pay. So he's a council member. He only receives council member pay, but the mayor receives a good $97,000 a year. Okay. So he is a compensated elected official, and he receives an annual salary that's about around range wise 30,000, and all that is public information, as it should be. When I worked for city and county, any kind of government, anybody can look up my salary and see how much I was getting paid. So he is getting a salary. So did he get paid to perform? Did Nick Cannon pay him to perform? Then that would be a conflict of interest, right? Just like Vicky was saying, a COI. That would be your conflict of interest. You made the connection, and he does admit that on the Facebook post. He made the connection, and he does connect the people to that. Now, I will say this, though. I do feel like, personally, that there could be a target on his back, too, because it's government. Like, this is how the government works. Like, if they see somebody who has, and I'm just saying, this is, it seems to me that maybe there is a level of intimidation from somebody like Jason Lee, being there and everything. So yeah, I could believe that there's a little bit of targeting that happens for Jason. And this is why, if you know that, you have to watch your back. You can't be effing around with city money or county money or government money or taxpayer money. You can't. Don't be complacent. Don't be effing around. People are watching you. You live in a glass house and you're driving a glass car. Like, that's how it is. Win, thank you so much for gifting 5 memberships. Appreciate it. Make sure you guys put some hearts and confettis if you've been gifted. Okay, thank you. Yes, even making the connection would constitute a conflict of interest. I would agree. Yeah. So I'm glad that I saw that, though. I was like, I had a footnote. I have a longer video on this, and I promise you it'll break some of these things down. He could be, I think he is a target. I think he is. But because of that, y'all, come on now. Even if he if you work in government, y'all, you're always gonna have a target on your back, whether it's your coworkers or somebody else. Like, you have to be very mindful that there's going to be targets on your back. Okay, some people don't last very long working in these kind of positions because of that target. They're always looking for something that you're doing wrong. So knowing that, because I went to work for 10 years knowing that I had a target on my back, knowing that, you act accordingly. Okay, you act accordingly and you document everything. That's what you do. That's what you do. You said again, I say, I don't care if that's a trash man is a target. Jason is not that stupid. I mean, he's very smart, very strategic. I'll give you that. But I do think that can't be doing stuff like that. You just gotta be careful, and I think that especially him, he should have been very careful. So I do wonder what they're gonna investigate. And he held a press conference and stuff like that. I guess, how do y'all take that? Let me know what you think. There'll be a bigger video on this coming later. So just so you guys are aware, it'll probably be shorter than my first one. But shout out to everybody that it's a lot of people. I got a good feedback from that video. I think part of it too is because I really like government positions are they're very competitive, and it's a different kind of environment. So I kind of understand what it's like kind of being there. It's a little bit of a different monster. I've seen really good government opportunities and really shitty ones and things that happen. And I've seen people be set up for different things. So you do have to be very careful. You do. But you have a lot of rights too. But I don't know for him, given that he's a councilman, it's a little bit different because he doesn't get the benefits like a full-time employee does. So there's that. There's that to kind of be mindful, very much so. You have to be, it's a very toxic environment. You always got to watch your back. I don't care how, and then the higher you go up on the ladder, that's what I found myself, is that the higher I went up on the ladder, the more vicious people get, and the more of a token you get used, if that makes sense. I mean, for me as a Latina, I felt like I was a token of a lot of things. So and you kind of get that sense of that environment there. It's kind of like that. But anyways, and I don't think it'll ever improve because it's government. It's just the way it is. It's the nature of the beast, people are always competing for different things and whatnot. Okay, so keep your eyes open for the next video that's going to come out. I did a little bit of like I said, my script is a little bit longer on that one, so it's a deeper dive and it goes into salary and stuff like that. So thank you. Shout out to Vicky in the chat who I think it asked a fantastic question and is making great points on this. Okay, I want to talk about. We got to talk about Mr. Let's talk about L.A. Reid. L.A. Reid. Okay. Oh, we're gonna get there. I promise. L.A. Reid, S.A. trial to include claims that he blocked Accuser from signing John Legend in Retaliation. Now, you guys remember there's an HBO doc out there. There has been lawsuits. Oprah's involved in this situation. It's been a lot of different things. For those that don't know, this would be Drew Dixon, okay? You say what did well they're reviewing. We're getting at that point where the trial's going to happen, right, for the civil case, just to be exact, for people so they don't get confused. So former Arista AR executive Drew Dixon says that she lost out of commission on commissions from future hit makers when she rejected Reid's sexual advances. Okay, so if you have not watched the HBO doc is the one that kind of breaks this down a little bit more, but this is a thing. She did put this in her lawsuit, and so finally, I guess we'll get to hear about these allegations. We'll get to understand these allegations. This is going to trial, and it's been years of this, guys. I think she filed in 2017 or 2018. I can't even remember. Like, I know, listen, anything before COVID, I'm having a hard time remembering, because I remember when the COVID situation happened, it was like we had a lot of time for everything. We were all working from home. Before COVID, I can't tell you I remember a lot of things. It's like COVID amnesia. I'm not really sure. Like, really mess with my mind. But yes, but Terry, thank you so much for the $10. I got money that was unexpected this morning. So you get money. LOL. Maybe you can buy some original bag cola, the good stuff. Terry, you remember my bag cola commentary. Thank you so much. Thank you. Aw. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you so much for this blessing. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it. And it really does help out the channel. Thank you. Um, you know what, James? You're funny. Shout out to James. James is doing too much in the chat. Shout out to James. Y'all gotta love it when James does his little jokes. Good thing I didn't bring that comment up, because I almost did. Anyways, back to Drew Dixon. So a judge has ruled that Drew Dixon can seek damages over past loss commission in her SA lawsuit against Antonio L.A. Reid. According to Billboard, Dixon, who worked as an AR executive at Arista, can put forth the argument that she missed out on commissions when Reid hindered her from signing Ye, Kanye West, John Legend. Reid allegedly blocked the deals as retaliation after Dixon refused his sexual advances. Now, remember, she also brought allegations against Russell Simmons. Okay, just so people are aware. This was a thing, and then, like, it was, I think she, if I remember correctly, she had been assaulted by Russell Simmons, so then she like left. um she left Russell Simmons, and then she went to work for Arista, and then she was assaulted by LA Reid. I mean, it was just such a horrible, the music environment in industry with SA, it's just horrible. Like, it's sacrifices and all kinds of BS that goes out there. I mean, this is why people and artists are so messed up nowadays. I mean, they can't even, it's a lot. Dixon claimed that Reid called Yee's audition a waste of his time and berated her in front of Arista employees. He also allegedly did not show up for John Legend's audition. My goodness. So the outlet reported that previously Reid's lawyers had hoped to limit Dixon's claims to any damages, specifically those related to the Yee and Legend auditions, explaining that it had occurred outside of the statute of limitations. The judge, Jeanette A. Vargas, ruled Dixon can keep pursuing such damages, at least for now, under New York Adult Survivors Act in a decision on Thursday. Dixon has also sued Russell Simmons for defamation after he called her a liar, after she leveled claims of SA and R against him in the past. And I believe that Russell recently sued, I can't remember if he sued HBO or who he sued exactly, but Russell hasn't really even paid any of the lawsuits that he's had, like even the settlements that he's made. In her lawsuit filed in 2022, Dixon detailed alleged inappropriate behavior and claimed that Reid SA'd her twice in 2001. LA Reid is a known predator who uses a singular professional power to force himself on his victims. Dixon detailed at the time, in my case, his persistent campaign of sexual harassment, and assault forced me to abandon the work I loved when I was at the top of my game in the music business, having worked my way up from internships and a job as a receptionist. Reid requested the lawsuit be thrown out in 2023. However, the motion was denied. According to Billboard, the trial is set for September 8th. Mark your calendars. Where is this? Is this going to happen? I think this might happen in Los Angeles, because there's one in the Southern District of New York, and I'm pretty sure. I wonder if Inner City Press will cover that one. Ooh, if Inner City Press covers that one, oh, we'll be covering it. Oh, we'll be covering it, because I mean, it's gonna be good, okay? Because it's gonna be good to just expose all this that has been years and years and years of the making, okay? Um, I believe the one in the Southern District of New York is for Russell. I don't think it's L.A. Reid. I'll have to check on this one. I can't remember. It's been a while. I want to say it's in the Southern District of New York. Okay, so L.A. Reid is known a Pedialyte who, excuse me, not a Pedialyte, a predator who uses a singular professional power to force himself on his victims. Dixon detailed at the time, in my case, his persistent campaign of harassment and assault forced me to abandon the work I loved when I was at the top of my game in the music business, having worked my way up from internship and a job as a receptionist. Reid requested the lawsuit be thrown out in 2023. However, the motion was denied, and so they're set for trial on September 8th. Although Reid and his former counsel, Sean Hawley was representing Danny Masterson. Sean Hawley representing these Pedialytes. Just saying. Have parted ways. Okay, so Sean Hawley is no longer with L.A. Reid. After Reid fell behind on legal bills and refused Holly's calls. Yeah, I mean, you got to pay these lawyers. You do. Anyways, is that I think so. It's one of them. I can't remember it was this one, but I remember when I can't remember who was covering it. Was it Inner City Press? It had to be in Inner City Press. So this might be in the Southern District of New York. Oh, thanks. Here comes Diddy Docket with the facts. Thank you. Diddy Docket. So this one, so which one? It was, right? Because now I remember when I pulled the documents and I saw the subpoena for Oprah. This is gonna be good. I hope Inner City Press covers this one, because we definitely need to cover. This one is gonna be this one. Listen, L.A. Reid. L.A. Reid. Yes, I'm here for this one. Thank you, thank you, Diddy Docket. This is gonna be a good one to cover. Okay, so we definitely gonna be on that one. You said the judge says that the trial will not be changed whether he gets new counsel or not. Holly is out after discovery. Oof. So the lady didn't get paid? Oh my goodness. All this money and people don't be, I don't know. I don't be doing stuff. You said, yeah, sunshine, like the Corona, the Coca-Cola really messed up with my memory. I realized that I was having a thought about this. I was like, how come I can't remember a whole lot after 2020? Like, I really can't. I'm having a hard time. And thank God that I've been able to like write notes, but I have forgotten a lot of stuff. I don't think that's good. I'm also ADHD, so there's that. Anyways, so we're gonna keep an eye on it. We're gonna be penning this one on the L.A. Reid case. Now we got to talk about Diddy. Let's talk about Diddy. Let's talk about Albie Shore losing out deals because he did. I don't know what else to make of it. Now, you guys remember, if you guys were watching the Diddy trial, okay? The Diddy trial, there was when they were doing the jury selection, I can't remember what juror number it was. I mean, I have pages and pages of notes of the jurors, okay? One of the jurors said that he was a executive of a publishing company, and he happens to know somebody that's been mentioned, and that happened to be Albie Shore. So he didn't get selected for jury, right? He didn't get selected whatsoever. But this was the company, this Simon and Schuster. This, I remember specifically the juror saying that he worked for this company. You remember that, juror? Y'all remember that, juror? It's coming back to you now. It's all coming back to me now. Celine Dion, it's coming back to me. It's coming back to me because when I sat there, I said, I was reading these articles. I said, wait a minute. What? I remember the juror who said, well, there might be a conflict, but you know, I don't know. I mean, because we're working on this book, right? That was crazy. So this company right here, which is the same one that the juror mentioned, this Simon and Schuster, puts Albie Shore's book on ice amid creative differences over Diddy. Now, I heard that, you know, Albie Shore made some scandalous allegations on his IG, right? About certain folks suppressing the algorithm, right? And I guess the PR firm that he made these against made a statement and basically said you need to stop lying on people because it didn't happen that way or something like that. Let me see. I'm like summarizing what that did I take a screenshot? Seeing if I have a screenshot of that. Something to that effect, like, you better stop lying, Linda, because it didn't happen that way. And they made a statement, right? Oh, no, I did not. Y'all know I have 37,000 screenshots on my iPhone. And I have yet to figure out how to organize this. I might just throw this whole phone away. I just might. Anyways, so they made a statement. They said something to the effect of like, you better stop lying on us because we're not suppressing stuff. You're making false allegations against the firm. Let me see if I can pull it up. I'll be sure. What is it? PR firm response. I might have it on IG. Let's see. Let's pull it up because that firm said, no, Linda. No, Linda. It didn't happen that way. Oh, Lord have mercy. See, I got some Albie Shore bookmarks over here. Let's see. What do we have? You know, my bookmarks are out of whack. You guys should see them, but I'm not going to show them to you yet. Albie Shore said apparently the PR company responded and said, nope, that's not how it happened, and you're not going to lie on us, that type of situation. So that's why Albie Shore immediately took down the post that he made, which everybody screenshotted, and now it's like, you got egg on your face. Like, can you stand on business when you say this happened? Do you have evidence? Okay. Do you believe me? Albie Shore's Diddy book pulled by publisher over creative differences. Okay, so this is what was announced by the source, but of course, we're going to go over here to talk about it. So there's a battle over Diddy between Albie Shore and Simon and Schuster. The publisher that promised that the singer, who was once married to Diddy's late ex, Kim Porter, would reveal dirt on the rapper in a new book, including a claim that he had something to do with Shore by falling into a coma in 2022. But after the announcing the memoir, Do You Believe Me Now? I promise we'll do makeup after this, okay? You can do my makeup after this, y'all. Baby bunny. The publisher had promised that the singer, who was once married to Diddy's late ex, Kim Porter, would reveal dirt on the rapper in a new book, including a claim that he had something to do with Shore falling into a coma in 2022. But after announcing the memoir, Do You Believe Me Now? In May, ahead of Diddy's trial, Simon & Schuster has pulled it from its website, and we're told the project is on ice. Okay, creative differences, or they didn't want to publish it so people didn't get sued. I'm kind of wondering about this. Simon & Schuster wanted him to include more stuff about P. Diddy, but he didn't really want to go there, says Hantman. Okay. He hopes to work it out with them, he added. The book is suddenly unavailable for pre-order on Amazon, which along with the audibles posted a new release date of December 31st, 2050. The Albie Shore book will be released on audibles on December 31st, 2050. Listen, if in December 31st, 2050, I'm talking about Albie Shore, I'm not going to be talking about Albie Shore in December 31st of 2050. I refuse. I'm not joking. That's what the date it says. 2050. 2050. Listen, I know. Let me make myself smaller. Y'all can see it. We're going to zoom into the article. It says 2050. If I am talking about Albie Shore in 2050, like, take me out. I refuse. Release date December 2050. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. What do y'all think? 20 creative differences, man. Just tell us the man lied or not. He said he's a mess. He's giving the same vibes as 50 Cent in the documentary that never came out that allegedly he was making. They would try to string people up. It's a typo? No way. Hold up. I'll be sure. Audio bowls. Release date. Let's see. Release date. Is it a is it a typo? Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. It said, well, okay, if you listen to AI, it gives a different date, but let me see. They said 2050. Maybe it is a typo, but Amazon is saying December 30th, 2025. Listen, I'll be sure that I'm not going to be here in 2050 talking about an I'll be sure. I'm just letting you know. Oh, that's funny, but I don't know what to make of it. The page for the audio edition of the book has also been removed from the Amazon entirely. Amazon's like, we taking this shit out right now. Now, I'll be sure I will not be here in 2050 talking about somebody's book because it's no, I refuse. I refuse. It further goes. Shore and Diddy's history date back from the 1990s at Uptown Records, where Shore was the label's biggest star and a young Combs was an intern. The Secret Garden singer was married to Porter, who became Diddy's long time on and off partner and mother of three of the Bad Boy founders' children. She and Shore's son had Quincy. She and Shore had son Quincy Brown, whom Diddy adopted. Yeah, so we kind of know the story, but I mean, was it creative differences or was it what was it? Because the way that okay, like literally, let me show you guys something. If your book is called Do You Believe Me Now and you don't want to talk about Diddy after you've been subliminally accusing this man of putting you in a coma, I don't know what to tell you. There's definitely a creative difference. There's definitely a situation where it's like we can't. Are you going to stand on the allegations, or what are you going to do? Now that this man potentially, we don't know. We're going to talk about his conditions here pretty soon. We don't know what's going to happen. He could be released on like home confinement. Is he chickening out now to release this? And I hate to say the word chickening because it's kind of like I would imagine how difficult it would be to talk about somebody who you're saying allegedly put you in a coma and did all this stuff. You think the book is a liability? Maybe a legal liability. But don't forget, I don't want us to forget, guys. He went into Fox. Was it Fox or some show during the first week of jury selection, guys? And he said that he had been subpoenaed. And then he said even other stuff there. And that his lawyers were handling it. Right. Kim's best friend has been calling Al out for his life. we don't have time anymore. Like you either are going to stand on the stuff that you're saying or you're not. Right? Because I know people are saying, well, he's afraid of the man, and people want to make this more than what it is. Guys, at the end of the day, Diddy could have a lot of victims in the civil cases. I'm not saying that that's not the case. I'm not taking away from that. But if we focus on the criminal case, this guy didn't even make the topic of it. And we reviewed those transcripts. Okay. Now, I'm no Diddy fan. Okay. But I'm also like, I'm not for lying on people. Because to me, the way I see it is Diddy can be bad all by himself. He doesn't need people to lie on him. I've said this before many a times. But there's a lot of inconsistencies and a lot of things that have been said. And, we got to start holding people accountable to the things that they say. That's my thought on that. You'd think this was all a grand PR stunt to build up anticipation and advance sales for his book. I agree. It seems to me that maybe he thought, like, he was thinking that he was going to be found guilty of the biggest one, and he would receive life in prison. And I bet you, maybe if he did receive life in prison, maybe I'll be sure would be more open to talk about why he believes that Diddy did something to him to put him in a coma. Agreed. It's like Kid Cudi. Let's talk about real quick on that situation. Remember when Kid Cudi testified? Okay. It was never proven that he had something to do, that Diddy had something to do with the burning of the car, guys. We could speculate all day, but the DNA that they found was a woman's DNA. Some of you guys were saying it was Janice Combs who did it. KK. What's the other girl? Bana Brianna. She wasn't even around that time. Like, there was just so much in speculation. We don't got time for that. We don't have time for the speculation anymore. So I do believe, in my opinion, that he used this trial to push this book. Okay? Now, I don't have to be a Diddy fan. I'm just letting you guys know it just doesn't make sense. I don't think that, I'm sure Diddy has a lot of resources, a lot of offshore accounts, so he could do all kinds of things. But at this time, we don't have time for the BS anymore. We really don't. We got to start holding these truth tellers accountable, because they be spewing a lot of shit and no receipts for the things that they say. Okay? Yes, they did. Yes, and Miss Sheila, thank you. I think that was you on the Cash App. Thank you, my love. Thank you. That people get caught up on their feelings. I agree. We just gotta be mindful of it. Let's hold these people accountable. Yeah, it could be for promotion, but Al's been saying this for years. Even before you went into a coma, he's been talking out against Diddy. Why didn't he ever sue Diddy? What did he have, though? Like, listen, his son, the adoption was not legal. A lot of media says that he adopted Quincy Brown, right? Was the adoption legal? Was he present in Quincy's life, or was he not? Because I don't know, you guys. I'm not accepting anybody as my father, stepfather, or not. I'm sorry. Like, sometimes, it might be certain circumstances where you have more than one dad. But like, if your dad has been there from day one, your dad is always going to be your dad. You know what I mean? So I don't know about this situation. Yeah, many variables. I agree. But I do wonder about this piece right here. And I think the reason why Diddy is look, I've had my speculation. I don't think Kim Porter died by accident. Whatever that means, it is what it is. It's just a speculation that I've had. Okay. But let's just say that that's the case. Why would he keep Albie Shore alive? Think about it. For those that have speculated, well, there's a I want you guys to answer this question. Why would Diddy, if Diddy had done something to this man, right? Why would he keep him alive? He wasn't adopted legally. Why would he keep Albie Shore alive? To have him live, to say all these things about him, it doesn't make sense. Some don't sound right. I don't know. Something doesn't sound right about the story. And so I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't add up at all. What he says, he was in a coma. He says it was in a coma. Some people have said that it was a yeah, you speculation tried and failed. You said it was a he almost thought it was a miracle. Yes. But Martha, if the thing about Albie Shore is that he's alluded that Diddy had something to do with it. And if that is the case, that's the question that I have. Why would he keep him alive to speak out on it? I don't know what's like, y'all. You see what I'm saying? Like, some don't sound right, but that's just my opinion. You guys are entitled to yours. I don't know. I don't know. Yes, there are some pics. I did see that, Martha. I did see those pictures. And in a horrible situation. But yeah. Sorry, y'all. I had baby bunny. Kim was aware of the details. I don't know, man. I don't know. I just think that there's more to this story than anything else. But Albie Shore survived his attacks. Same for Jamie Foxx. Why would he keep him alive, though? That's the thing. That's the question. I don't know. It just, a lot of this puzzles me, and I feel like personally, you said Corey Gamble knows. Yeah, probably does. Let me tell you guys something. I don't know what can or can't be proven in court, you know, but you wouldn't have that proximity to my son if you try to take me out. And my son is an adult, right? You wouldn't have that proximity to any of us. If I know that you try to take me out, oh, I'm going to take you to civil court. I'm going to bury you. I'm going to file police reports. I'm going to do all kinds of things because you had proximity towards me, but you cannot have proximity towards my, you are not going to say that he is, that he's not going to call you dad and you try to off me. I struggle, but that's, you know what? Maybe I need to do more research on it. Yeah, I'll do that. Yeah, you said God kept him alive. Diddy Devil didn't get him, but he tried. Whew. Let me know what you guys think in your comments. I don't know. Just my thought. Just my thought. It's a lot of speculation, a lot of things that we could speculate. All right. So we were talking about Diddy. We're going to get to Diddy again because we do have to, there's more about Diddy that we got to talk about. Let's talk about what Agnifilo is saying. So Agnifilo gave an exclusive to TMZ, of course. TMZ's been getting the exclusives. We kind of know this, right? Let's see.
Fight very hard and argue very intelligently to get him a reasonable sentence where he can get out in relatively short order. And then he's out. So what does he do first? What he does first, and I think he does it for quite a while, is he is now present for his 7 children. He has a beautiful mother who is getting older. And I think he's going to want to spend time with his mother and with his kids and get reacquainted with them on the outside. They've all stood by him, of course, and they visit him in jail on a regular basis. But it's
never good. This is just my opinion. It's never good to speak ahead of time, right? So I've been hearing a lot of articles and rumors that if he gets released, he's going to go perform at Madison Square Garden. Did you guys hear the same thing? That if Diddy gets released, he's gonna go out there, he's gonna perform. That's what never good to put that out there publicly, at least. You know, you can project that, you could try to project that, but you just never know. That's what I'm like, ooh, yeah, no.
But he needs to get back to his life with them, his life with the other people who love him and miss him. And that is going to be the next chapter and maybe the next several chapters of his life. One thing that I think is true about my assessment of Sean Combs, I believe he's always going to do something special, something that other people haven't done. And while he did say to me, as I said, that he hopes one day his fortune would take him maybe back to Madison Square Garden, I think that is
I agree with you. I think that they're talking a little too much. I mean, and we have other clips of the other interviews, but this is, you know, I will say this: it's worked in their favor, right? As a legal defense strategy, it's worked in their favor to talk to the media because it's like, you can only get so much from the government, right? It's worked in their favor to speak out and inform the public to a certain degree. But here in this situation, I'm like, you guys are tooting your horn. Wait, it could happen. He could very well be released and be on home confinement. He could very well be all this other stuff. But I would have waited until after sentencing, because that's kind of where I'm like, all right, like, this is, if he gets out, he's planning to connect with this family, not go perform at Madison Square Garden. We don't want to do that. Yeah. You mean to talk to? Yeah. Like, but see, they've always been talking to TMZ, guys. I don't know if people are aware of that. They've always been talking to TMZ. Don't forget who leaked the information about the juror and all that other stuff. And we have the transcript for that. Remember, it's been a lot of speculation. I don't even think it was the defense team who leaked that information about the juror. If you get, was it juror number 6 or 7? There was a huge controversy over that. There's more to that story that a lot of people don't know, but that I was given the inside scoop on. So, and maybe people will find out later on or whatever, but it wasn't the defense team or even the prosecution that leaked that information. It was definitely somebody in the court, though. But yeah, keep watching.
If ever, years down the road. And that is not in his immediate conception. That is something, quite frankly, I hope for him. I hope he comes out and he does important things. He's working very hard in jail. I think he is spending a lot of time thinking about aspects of himself, maybe some of the aspects of himself that caused him to be there. I think he's someone who's very conscious of the fact that he has these, tremendous blessings in his life, but he also has imperfections, as we all do. And I think he's really spent a lot of time thinking about that. And the word that I used and, been using, and I want to use it now, is redemption. And redemption is earned. Redemption is not given. And I think he has done the hard work to earn redemption. And so he's not asking for something for nothing. He's putting the work in. And I believe this is a great redemption story. And that is my hope for him. The road that is right in front.
It's a redemption story. Now, hold up. Diddy's attorney says Gina wasn't paid to write letter to judge. Those are her genuine statements. I think I don't think she was paid. Put a 1 in the chat if you believe that Gina was paid to write a letter to the judge. Now, she might be paid afterwards. I don't know if she was paid now. I don't know if she was paid to write the letter, but she might be paid afterwards. You said she was paid. You all are saying 111? Oh, my God.
Domestic violence 5 years ago in a podcast, who then wrote a letter saying he's a good.
It wasn't in a podcast. It was a Tasha K. Hollywood Unlocked. I know that Jason Lee which is Hollywood Unlocked, does not like Tasha K. They've had a forever beef, but come on now. It was Tasha K. We all know that she said it at the Tasha K show.
Good person. And today, I believe, doubled down on an Instagram post saying, why can't people accept that you can forgive people and move on? For those who will look at a letter from someone who was supposed to be victim number 3 in this case and go, she must have been paid, or the attorney clearly wrote that letter. What do you say to that?
She wasn't paid and the attorney didn't write it. I mean, I know she has a lawyer. I don't know between her and her lawyer how that letter was made, but I have every reason to believe that those are her genuine sentiments. And if her lawyer helped her write it, that sometimes happens. I think she's exactly right. And I think she would know. And I don't think she's here to just do him favors. I think this is how she genuinely feels. And I thought that her letter was very balanced. I think she said, was their relationship
Make of someone who accused Combs of
the letter was balanced.
Domestic
relationship perfect? It wasn't perfect. I mean, and she led with that. And she said, but he always tried to do better. She saw him as a father and a loving figure. And I think this is all about redemption. I mean, I was raised Catholic, you know, and I believe in redemption. And I think this is a story of redemption.
I was raised Catholic too. I believe in redemption. I believe that even the worst people can be redeemable. We have, I mean, it's just, I'm sorry, y'all can, that's just how I was raised. Okay. However, the father part I kind of struggle with because of the forced abortions type of situation. If you're Catholic, you kind of would know that. Like that would be a no. But okay, let me hit play. Let me stop.
And I think that's what he wants. He's religious as well. He was raised Catholic and Baptist. He went to Catholic high school. He went to Catholic church every Sunday. He went to Baptist church as well because of his grandmother. And I think he is telling a story of redemption. I think the Sean Combs story is a story of redemption. Relationship perfect? It wasn't perfect. I mean, and she led with that. And she said, but he always tried to do better. She saw him as a father, and
she saw him as a father,
you know, and a loving figure. And
okay. Anyways, so yeah, okay. And of course, she's calling everybody sheeps. She called everybody a sheep. She said, "You sheep." She is not, just because you want to see him down type of situation. Look, you guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Oh my, y'all are going in. Oh my goodness. Can you guys be nice in my comments? See, this is why I get in trouble. Then people are like, Rabbit, your comments, you can't control your chat. I'm like, I'm not trying to control them. I control them and then I get in trouble. So I just let people be. Okay. You say it sounds very wrong. Well, I'm sure that she'll do an interview and she'll get paid a lot of money, right? And then she'll figure out why she said what she said. Right? Did you guys hit the like button? We need to get those likes up, please. And thank you while we wait. And this ad keeps going here and everything. She saw him as a father. Yeah, she did. Saw him as a father. You said nope. James said nope. Redemption. You know, I don't know. Let's not act like the most religious people can be the most evil. That's very true. Most religious people can be the most evil and most judgmental. I 1000% agree. And the most perpetrating. Yeah, you gotta be careful with the church people. Okay. You gotta be very, very careful. Very deceitful people. Very deceitful people. So I agree. Yeah. I mean, I remember when I would go to church, I'd be like, am I being judged? Because they'd be looking at you all sideways. You know, but I've had my moments. And then I've had my moments where it's been fine, you know, but it really just depends on, you know, the situation and the people there. Yeah, you know, I feel like I've worked more on working on my spiritual side more so than the institution of it. Does that make sense? I've learned a lot from that. But y'all let me know what you guys think. Mercy Miami, thank you for the 5 memberships. Thank you. If you guys have been blessed, put some hearts in the chat. Our girl over here gifted the channel. Thank you. Oh, that really means a lot. Thank you guys. And Miss Sheila, thank you. They all wanted to be number 1. I concur. Thank you so much, Miss Sheila, for this super chat. Thank you. You guys are going off. I will say this though. So yesterday I posted the Epstein victims' letters on the community wall. And you had a person in there who was like, well, why don't the victims just name the perpetrators? Instead, like, why don't they also release their own names instead of being anonymous? Missing the essence of what the letter actually says, right? Like this, you guys are making this political and everything. Y'all are making this political. Miss Sheila, again, thank you so much for your support. Thank you, and everybody else that supported the channel today. Oh my God, you guys have an issue with anything positive about him? No, we don't. You talking about Diddy? I don't have anything. I don't think any of us have an issue with anything positive. He is positively behind bars right now. He is positively engaging in therapy and treatment. And hopefully he'll have a positive outcome out of that. Hopefully things will positively work out for him. I really hope that things work out for him positively too. You know, because when you do the crime, you do the time. So hopefully it works out. I have that's my positively speaking on a man that, you know, he deserves, you know, to get therapy, and deserves to seek it, and hopefully he is redeemed. Now, he doesn't need redemption from me, he needs it from his victims and everybody else that he's hurt, and his children and his family. So I hope that he positively seeks this, and it's all positively working out for them, because that does matter. He at the end of the day, he does have children, and he has somebody who's holding him accountable to a lot of the things that he's doing. So yes, thank you. Maria Barrera, thank you so much for the $2. Hi, Rabbit Chat. I really like you. Thank you. Oh my God, I really like you too. Thank you. Thank you, girl. Thank you for supporting the channel. Now, let me tell you somebody who I'm not going to speak very positively about, and that is Epstein. Okay, we're not going to, like, the man is dead, whatever. Okay, we can move on, right? So literally, let's talk about what's going on, and we're going to stay on their asses because we have to. So a lawsuit seeks Justice Department and FBI communications about Epstein investigation. Now, my friends, we have been gaslit so far. We have been lied to. We have been misinformed so far. And I mean, not just this administration, the administrations before that. You guys know that I don't like any of these political people. I do not care about these little political, until we wake up and we realize that none of these mother effers give a shit about us. Then that's when we're really going to get it together. Okay. And understand that everybody is in it for themselves. Okay. So my goodness, Nebulous, is that you in the chat? Shout out to Nebulous. Nebby, I sent you a message. Hope you're doing well. Hit me up. I miss you, Nebby. Hit me up. Okay, we got to chat. Shout out to Nebby. Okay. We're not going to let this go. I'm never going to let this go. Okay? Never, never, never. So we have to talk about it. The administration has darvoed us. That's for sure. We have been gaslit, darvoed, all of it. And some of the people have justified it. Well, no, I'm not. Not justifying any of that. You stand in the shit that you created, okay? You do. So lawsuit seeks Justice Department and FBI communication about Epstein investigation. Legal group sues for records related to official correspondence about Epstein document and about Epstein and Trump relationship. I'm here for it. I want to see this lawsuit. I'm here for it. An advocacy group sued the U.S. Department of Justice and the FBI on Friday, which would be, is that today? Hold up. Let me double check the date. Yeah, that would be today, my friends. Today. For records detailing their handling of the S trafficking investigation into the late S offender Epstein. The legal organization is a Democracy Forward, is a seeking records related to senior administration officials, communication about Epstein and documents anything regarding correspondence between Epstein and Trump. The lawsuit filed in a federal court in Washington, D.C. appears to be the first of its kind. I'm going to get that lawsuit. We're going to review it. The group says it submitted requests under the FOIA. And there was another lawsuit like this. I want to say, was it in February or in March, where there was a group of people that sued because of the way in which Pam handled the release of the repeated documents for Epstein. The court should intervene urgently to ensure the public has access to the information they need about this extraordinary situation. Various victims, including Annie Farmer, has in their lawsuit said that they need to release the information, but they need to make appropriate third-party redactions. Like, it's not just the legal people, but they also need to hire somebody outside of the legal people to redact the information. But here's the deal, y'all. I don't even know if the jury transcripts is enough. I'm going to be honest with you. It doesn't seem like it's enough, in my opinion. I personally feel like we need what the Southern District of New York is sitting on, all those lawyers in those offices, anybody else in California, everywhere else, because they're literally using this to weaponize all this information, hundreds and thousands of documents. They're being used to weaponize and make this into a political fight. And some of us aren't buying it. We don't care about the political fight that they have. We could give a shit because we know that these political parties are trash no matter how you vote. Okay, they're not for us, but they're using this. Both sides are using this to weaponize it against what one party is doing and what the other party is doing. Hey, Bossy, how are you, my love? You said we have a government that's willing to lie to us. It's been lying to us. They've been lying to us every day. I don't know what else to say. I mean, it is what it is. You said, I'm a little behind, Rabbit, but you positively got me cracking up. I'm just trying to, I'm being very positive. I can't be positive about the Epstein stuff or these political clowns. I just can't. That would be too fake of me. But hopefully this lawsuit goes through. You know, there was this meeting that was reportedly hosted by JD Vance. They had they had turkey. They had carne asada, steak. They had this meeting at the White House. Like they were having dinner right there, right? Somebody brought tortillas. I'm thinking of it. Anyways, let me stop. He didn't do that. But apparently they had this meeting where they were talking about the Epstein files and the handling of it. And I'm just wondering, what did they eat while they were talking about this? How do you eat while you're having a dinner to host about this? They had literally, how do you even eat, girl? Like how? You're talking about abuse of children and you guys are having dinners over this? Y'all can't have a meeting over that? Go ahead, mama girl. Okay, be careful. Thank you. You want to draw? Okay, well, go get a pen from the other room. You guys are having meetings about this. You're eating and deciding the future of various things and what documents are going to happen. Did they have like a ribeye steak over it? Was it sushi? What was it? Was it tortillas, queso con frijoles? What you guys eat while this is finger foods? I'm just letting you all know. Do you know how ridiculous that sounds? That even CNN, Fox News is reporting that there are these assholes, and I'm going to call them that, are sitting at a table while they're eating and deciding what they're going to do about the Epstein files. How can you do that? How can you eat when making a decision over this or trying to handle this shit? I don't know what else to, like, this had to be public news. How do you even sleep at night knowing that you're sitting on information and you are breaking bread with people that participated in this BS? How do you do that? They're playing in our face. That's what it is. That's what I'm like. I'm making it like I know I'm being funny about it, but in reality, I want you to think about it. When I hear about news about these, mother effers having dinner parties, deciding and making decisions about this BS over, and this lady stepping down and how they're going to handle this, and you guys, I'm done. I don't care what Miss JD Vance cooked for them. F her and everybody else in that little administration. I'm just letting y'all know it's crazy to me that this is what they're doing. You said stop. That's not something I can think of. I'm just saying, like, how do they even make this? Huh? I don't have. Oh, can you wait a little bit? Give me 2 minutes. Shake on it. Oh, you got to wait. Okay. You got to wait. I'll give you a pin in a minute. Give me 1 second. Okay. Yes. I can't deal with them. I can't deal with the, it's just it's like a big joke to them. I don't know. Like, I don't know what else to say. It's a big joke. So it seems like to me. Let me know what y'all think. Is it just me who feels that way? They are used to it. It's like politicians. That's what they are. Yeah. Anyways, guys. Well, you guys let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm gonna let you go. Hey, shout out to everybody that supported. I got some pre-recorded videos to work on that are like high on my list right now. So I gotta work on those. That I'll be dropping. I don't know if today because it's already a little bit late, but maybe tomorrow. So keep an eye on them. I got to go because I got to tend to baby bunny. She's doing the most. So I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you guys for supporting and hit the like. Bye, guys. Have a good one, guys. Happy Friday.